So it's definitely nice outside today. Wind is on chill today instead of blowing my gazebo curtains all over the place. But I'm back on here because I woke up this morning by somebody knocking on my door. And yeah, I already don't like unexpected guests, people, anything like that. Maybe I have some type of form of PTSD. I don't know. Um, I heard it explained a certain way that almost made me like, let me look it up and see if I can find it, but made me like feel like, hey, that's me. And I guess I don't really know it like that right now because it's not meant for me to come into agreement with having PTSD. But when I tell you, it's like that anxiety that tries to plague me. That's why I'm like, maybe all right. Then I still got this cough. I don't know where this cough came from, just out of the blue. I don't know what this means, what's going on. I don't know. But a couple things I'm thinking. I'm sorry, I'm gonna be coughing throughout. But a couple things I'm thinking about. Oh my goodness. It's just one of those little irritating coughs. One thing I was thinking about was how when my so-called best friend came here and so-called and previously called best friend, because she was my, of 12 years at the time. I guess my daughter was, well, she was there before my daughter was born because she was there during the pregnancy, and I think I linked up and met her around the time I got pregnant or before I got pregnant and stuff like that. So, anyway, yeah. That was somebody that I actually called best friend. Like, there's been people that try to call me best friend or, you know what I'm saying, friend, period. And I didn't really, I don't mess with y'all like that. But this one, I actually was like, yeah, that's my girl. And again, she came in 2019 and just, she ended up doing some foul stuff because, and this is, I'm going to just talk about how it went. She came down here and she came here from another state. And of course, my door is always open and this, that, and the third. We hung out, we had a good time, and it's almost like she came another time too when I was pregnant with my son, my second child. And like towards the tail end, it's always something where we just have like a disagreement about or whatever. So basically, we spend some good time when she get here and stuff like that, and then towards the end, it'd be like, oh, okay. And this time she was supposed to stay for like another day or two or whatever, and then she was leaving. But ended up she left out like I said, a day or two earlier. And I had told one of my kids to do something, or told my kids to do something, and I was like, get that up. And then she immediately, like almost immediately, followed it up with, did you hear what your mama said? And I was like, wait a minute now. I have no problem with nobody correcting and talking to my kids. If you initiated it and did it first, fine. But you're not their dad, and you don't need to follow up. They heard my voice. That's all they needed to hear. They don't need to, unless I went off somewhere and they was not doing what I told them to do. But it was like she felt like she needed to. And I was like, girl, I just said what I said. They heard me. You don't got to repeat it. And I don't know. She snapped back and said something, and then I got up and I got in her face, and I was like, she was just like, get out of my face or back up and all this, and I'm like, no, baby, I'm all in your little personal space, but then I ended up, backing up. Of course, we ain't come to blows or nothing like that, but because I promise you, that's just so damn childish when you really supposed to be friends and cool with somebody or whatever. But that's just so damn. Ooh, I'm so glad this greenery is growing back up because it's going to help to block out some of when people try to be nosy. You know what I'm saying? I love it. Oh, that's what I do love about springtime. Spring and summer. But, And just, oh, I'm just disappointed that they cut down my other tree over there. It was blocking out so much. It was blocking out them from seeing what I had, what I'm doing over here in my yard, or just me, period. Like, I could just sit back there, and the only way you can see me is if you're traveling on that street right there. But anyway, like I said, we didn't come to blows or nothing like that. But she just got up. She started packing her stuff. I didn't tell her to leave, but I did tell her to, step out and take a breather if you need to. Step outside. That's what I meant. That's like literally. That's all I meant. Like, if you need to step outside for 5 minutes, because I'm not leaving and I'm not gonna be uncomfortable up in here. And she ended up just packing her stuff and leaving. Like, leaving. A lot of times people do this with the quickness. They will leave. Who cutting their grass? Anyway, they'll leave. Like, when they come over here and like stir some stuff up, or something don't go their way, they'll leave with the quickness. Like, one of my so-called siblings did the same thing and left out of here so quick that left stuff behind and stuff like that. And I just like, tisk. Came over here to, you know what I'm saying? You didn't come here for the right reasons. You came here to think you run stuff, and you ain't. It's not happening. Again, I already bow and submit to somebody faithfully, and as much as I humanly can, and as much as he spiritually empowers me. So don't do that. And I went on to tell her too and let it be known, like, let it be known that, honey, just because you don't see a male presence here, I just was trying to be frank. I was like, pussy don't drive this car. And I think I might have said dick do. I don't know. But anyway, it definitely ain't that. It ain't no cat, as y'all like to call it or whatever. I don't like words like cat. My late grandma used to tell me all the time, "Watch your cat," and this, that, and I'm like, oh gosh, your cat? It's not a cat. It's a vagina, and of course, if you want to be slang, it's pussy, and like, I guess that kind of references cat. But anyway, I just don't do all that. But anyways, let her know she left out. And then when she left out, she couldn't just leave it at that. She decided to call the police. Like, this, you're calling the police. I had an issue with one of my toilets. I still had another working toilet that you can use, and that one was barely working too, because it's just an old house. But she decided to call the police about that. So you called the police about a toilet and basically reported me about a toilet not working. Of course, the police reported to CPS because if there's children involved. And it was just crazy. It was really crazy. I was like, wait, what? Like, we literally can do that? Like, I didn't know. Even before, when the boys' so-called dad's mom had pressed them charges on me, I didn't know that you could just go literally press charges on somebody for anything, for looking at you wrong, for this, for that, for whatever. And I was like, what? But I always knew, like, I don't know if it's biblical reference. I know it's somewhere in the Bible, but just the biblical standpoint of, we need to be, if we believers and we in the same body, we need to be slow to involve the courts, and we need to take our stuff to God, before God, and come to each other and stuff like that, and be able to come to that I don't want to say compromise, but come to that happy place or whatever. But not everybody's believers, not, so of course she was here, she was observing how I live and stuff like that, and I just, I'm gonna stay prayed up. I don't care if you here, whatever, if you in my house and I don't let you get in, you're gonna see how I live. Like, that's everything, good, bad, and different, but you definitely gonna see me being a woman of prayer. And even her, when she came here, she experienced, having dreams, and her dreams was like coming to life, and then she ended up experiencing it while she was here. And then, but anyway, so one thing about it, you came here, you ain't gonna never forget the experience that you had and the encounter and stuff that you had when you're here, which is a wonderful thing. But I don't put my faith and stuff on display like that. Like, God knows, I'd rather just, Lord, it's me and you. Just like I just said about, I'm so glad these bushes and stuff growing back up so that less likely for people to look all in my business. You in my business, don't do that. And I do feel and know that God didn't intend for it to be like that. It needs to be on display. People need to see. But God knows, I just rather stay in my own little corner, in my own little chair. I can be but I just like to keep it to myself. That's just that. So she's saying or whatever how I'm living or whatever, and living with little material things, but still I was good. The only disappointment I had was the fact that my kids' dads wasn't doing what they supposed to do, wasn't showing up for the kids, and this, that, and the third. That was it. But she literally called the police, told the police about my toilet. The police actually I didn't have to let him in, but he had already had his foot in my screen door. Like, he was adamant. It's like, well, I want to see the toilet and this, that, and that. And I'm like, okay. But he came in and he was like, you could tell he was disappointed. Like, damn, people really living like, yep, we really living like this. We really having to deal with stuff. I could almost feel the compassion, but he went on and still, he got a job to do. But he did leave his card. He questioned me about something 13 years ago, what I did and all that. And I told him, I was like, and I was provoked. Because again, if you give me a chance to speak, I'm going to tell you the truth about what, but I wanted to ask him, well, what did you do 12 years ago? Anyways, call the police, though, for them to come to and I was having dreams about police and stuff like that during that time, but didn't know it was literally going to happen like that. But, she called the police. The police, of course, in turn, called CPS, again, about a toilet. And then after that, it was some other stuff that was reported and said and all of this. And the lady went back over the list of everything that had been reported to CPS over the years regarding me. I mean, they started watching. Then from that point, they started watching my every little move and trying to report just anything that didn't even make sense and have nothing to do with neglecting kids or definitely wasn't no abuse or whatever. Well, you know what I'm saying? I know abuse can come in different forms, but, like physical abuse or anything like that. But, they just started watching for everything. And it, that pissed me off. Because I'm like, but y'all ain't giving no props when there's certain good stuff going on. And, I just couldn't, that right there didn't sit well with me. So anyway, I just felt the type of way. I just wanted to speak on that. She ended up calling the police after she left out of here. She left some stuff here, and I was like, girl, you left your stuff. You left out of here so fast. You left your new stuff that you bought. Ended up, she left the whole bag here. I don't know if she did it intentionally or if she just really just got up out of here that fast. But she left her stuff, and I was like, oh, you got your stuff or whatever. And I think she said she was going to come back and get it. Then after that, she was like, you could just keep it. And so I took it. It had the receipt in there, and I took it right on back. Got that good old little change for it or whatever, and that was that or whatever. But because I really could have threw it away. Knowing me, I would throw stuff away, but could have threw it away or whatever. But I took it back. And her dude that she was involved with, because she had a dude, that she was involved with here, even though she was somewhere else. He came banging on my door, this, that, and the third. He came banging on my door, trying to get the stuff back and all that. And I didn't even open the door. Like, boy, get out of here. I know he's definitely a weapon carrier, and I don't think he was coming to do anything like that, but you just never know how people's minds can snap. But he was coming to get her stuff, and so I was like, So anyway, I didn't open the door. I was on the phone with another one that I definitely did consider this person a friend as well. And actually these two both went to the same college. I think they both graduated from the same college or whatever. But they didn't really know each other. But, and I was like, yeah, if she come get her stuff, I'm gonna give it back to her, whatever. And then he showed up. And I was on the phone with her, and I was like, I'm not opening the door. But I thought you just said you was going to, that was the thing. If she would have came, I probably more than likely was going to give it back to her because I'm not spiteful. But she ended up texting me. She was like, you can keep it. And so I was like, okay. But, yeah, he came or whatever. So I didn't open the door. So in her eyes, she was just ready. It's like this other girl who I was on the phone with, she was like ready to call me on something, or you know what I'm saying, try to find some type of error in me. Yes, I meant what I said. If she would have came, and I did tell him that the stuff was here too, but I didn't never tell him that I was giving it to him, and I ain't never tell the girl I was on the phone with that I was giving it to him. So anyway, she just tried to make it seem like I was a liar or operating in some kind of error, like I said. I don't know why this is coming up on this day. What's today? April 2nd. I don't know. That's what I was thinking about. And like, I just felt the type of way like, dang, I really tried to call you friend and really tried to, you know what I'm saying, let you into my private space and, get involved with me and my kids and stuff like that. And look what you do. Look what you go and do. Of course, I forgive for that and all that, but it still just got me looking sideways. If I wasn't looking sideways before, my head is like really crooked. Like I got a crook in my neck. Like, what is wrong with y'all? Like, why are you calling the police on somebody for something like the police? You didn't even call CPS first. You called the police first. As if having a toilet, you literally felt like having a messed up toilet was a crime, was something crime worthy, or get something, something investigated. And honestly, it is in a sense, but not for, you're supposed to be a friend, but it is as far as you should have working and running appliances and everything in your household. And I knew the reason why, so it's like, and I had told her and talked to her. I was like, yeah, people not doing what they supposed to do. And I know she hollered out, I don't like lazy people or something like that. So I don't know if, again, she sensed somebody was lazy that was connected to me. She didn't call me lazy, but I don't know if she sensed that somebody was lazy that was connected or whatever. But anyway, and again, she knows some of my history from way back, especially before my daughter was born. She know who I was involved with and all that. Like I said, I don't really know why this is coming up. I'm going to switch positions like I usually do. I've been over here for 16 minutes, and now I'm ready to change it up. Ugh. So, yeah, she knew I was involved with, and and that was that or whatever. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, but those who came to my door this morning and like woke me up with the knocking on my door. I don't know if it was Jehovah's Witnesses or what. It was two white men. I should have took a picture of them while they were standing there. I didn't. I was, because I literally just woke up and I just looked at the camera. My son got up. He was like, somebody's at the door. Like he was getting ready to run and look out the window. I was like, nope, I'm going to look at my camera. And then when I turned the camera on, I heard them saying, it seems like nobody's at home. I don't think he was just talking about my house. I think he was talking about other houses. So I hope people are at home with all that driving we did. So wherever they came from, seemingly to them, it was a little distance or whatever. And of course, I seen them walk to other houses. I never seen them get in a vehicle or anything like that. But yeah, for one, I don't like unexpected visits like that. Don't wake me up out of my sleep. I was dreaming about something, but I do feel like, hey, I can stand to wake up out of that dream, because I was in a dream. I was looking at either a TV screen or something like that, and then I seen some girls or something interacting. They were being, lesbian, not lesbian this, but there was, lesbians or whatever, kissing, licking on each other, just and the third, whatever. And I seen myself like looking to the left. They were to the left of me on some kind of like sofa chair. And I was seeing myself like trying not to look, but I looked, or I was trying not, I was trying to look away until they stopped or whatever. And I felt like in a dream that my so-called mom was sitting behind me, like watching and trying to see what I was gonna do or something like that. I don't know. That dream was all over the place and in one place at the same time. So, But anyway, that's what they woke me up out of. So I really can't remember other details. But irritated with that because like don't. I be want to put up a sign that says, please, if I am not expecting you, do not knock on my door. Do not. I don't do surprises. Please don't. I can do that, but I haven't chose to as of yet. That don't mean it's not coming. DoorDash and Grubhub folks, drop my food off and keep it trucking. Don't do not. But anyway, that's what I was on though. Really, again, specifically regarding her. Not gonna say her name, but yeah, I mean, and I love her, and I ain't talked to her since then. It's been 2 years, and usually I call her, reach out to her at least, once every 2 or 3 months or something like that. I always try to keep in contact. We was in contact that whole time, and then it just like came to that abrupt change. I don't even want to say end. I don't even think that I would want to. Oh, excuse me. Want to see her, man. I don't know what it is about this cough. It's getting on my nerves. I don't think I would want to even see her again or anything like that to try to clear anything up. Me, I like to speak my piece and say what I want to say and go on. Like, I be wanting people to come to their own, to the realization themselves. Like, definitely seek God for yourself and realize where you had me messed up at. But seek Him and realize where you got yourself messed up for you out here doing that to people. Either because you're in your feelings or whatever, your pride. I don't know, whatever it may be. But yeah, don't do that. So I don't know. I wasn't planning on getting in my jacuzzi today, but I might because it's so nice outside. Just to relax or whatever. But I just wanted to speak on that because, like, girl, you did not have to do none of that at all. Anyway, other thing, I'm still thinking about my daughter, of course, missing my child. Yeah, my voice starts cracking up when I talk about my child because get a little emotional because I'm just like, oh, please, Lord, these days have passed by. I want to see my child. And, like, sometimes I be, like, wishing and hoping that her so-called dad would do the right thing, encourage her. Like, you are mama's boy, but you're okay. You're okay with my child not seeing me. He like literally just because she did. I'm not saying I kept her away, but I didn't let her go with him for a long time. And they're the type that like to do spiteful. Oh, we want to make her feel like she made us. Don't do that because that's where again you got me messed up because you don't know my reasons for doing that. And you might not even need to know. It might not be none of your business. I'm just doing what I gotta do as a mother. But for you to be a mama's boy and not encourage a female child to be with her mother, to me, in my opinion, you have lost your damn mind. You definitely reprobate, beyond reprobate, and you know what I'm saying, that's on you. But like I said, it could be something different. It could be something totally different. And the other thing that I always feel like I gotta come back to is that I opened the door for it to happen. With the pressure that was being put on me, but I still like. I feel like I can't let up. I feel like I just feel like I'm not fully content. I don't feel like like I said, I'm at peace. I have mostly peaceful days, but when it does come up, it's like, wait a minute. I either acted up, somebody messed up, somebody put some strong pressure on me, and then of course when I think about that, I go back to the boys' so-called dad who made the call, who even had the whole situation that caused this whole thing. And and I definitely for that I don't like him. For that I don't hate him because I'm just not trying to hate. I'm not in the business of hating people, but for that I just strongly dislike him. And I had a lot of reasons before to not like him, but this is definitely you really stamped it with this one. Because you know how much that I care about my daughter, my kids, period, even my kids with him. And it's like, why would you do that? Or why? But then on another hand, I'll be like, well, the person that you love the most, should they not be able to piss you off? They shouldn't be able to me deliberately piss you off and just like with intention. Oh, I'm going to piss her off because of whether it's spiteful or whether it's just, and whether it's just. Um, but to let it happen naturally, hey, and you get pissed off at something or whatever, that's that right there. I'm all good with that. But this, you had deliberate intentions. Like I seen it from a long time ago in like the making. He kept coming to my house talking about setup and who set who up because I felt like I knew that they set his brother up to be murdered and all this and without knowing all the details. But I basically caught it before. Oh yeah, I called it in April. It was around this time, so maybe that's it. But it was around this time, April something, where I sent him an email and I was like, "You need to pray for your brother," and this or whatever. And because somebody else came to me and was like, "Oh, I had a," I mean, I'm just gonna be frank. I had a vision that they set this dude up. He had this, then, and she described how he looked. I was like, "Yep, that's probably him." And then this was the same year he got killed, and it was what if that happened in April, May, June. And 2 months later, he got killed. So that was that. And then after that happened and stuff, he started coming to my house talking about set up and this, you trying to set me up. And I'm like, what? Or somewhere along them lines. I'm like, what? And so when he started doing all that, and I'm like, no, now I'm convinced that you're trying to set me up because you keep on talking about that. I don't give a damn about what you're talking about. Because when I was in his presence, I was like happy and I was just glad to see him and stuff like that. So he started doing that. And so then again, what was it? A night in, it was one of them. It was in 2019, definitely. It was like June 23rd ish or something like that. And, um, so this was the year after his brother had got killed. I was interacting with him and I dropped my earring in his. I didn't do it on purpose. I just never would wear it back. So my earring, dropped my earring in his car, in his vehicle, and he went back and I was like, okay, I need my earring. I can't find my stuff. And then he had this look in his eye or whatever where I knew he was plotting or something, whatever. But I thought it was gonna be I'm gonna just be honest. I thought it was gonna be beneficial for me and this, that, and the third. And so I didn't hound him about giving me my earring. Now I wanted my stuff before he left. I made efforts and attempts to look for it. And I'm like, hold on, I need my earring, this, and the third. Give me my stuff. And he had this look in his eye like, I guess at this point now I need to know is like I got her, like as in got me. The joke is on him because you're an idiot if you think I can't part with material things. I ended up after so long of waiting on him to give my earring back, I end up throwing the other one away because I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna sit here and dwell on it. But it was like a pair of my favorite earrings. So I don't know if he just he looked for it and probably placed it somewhere and allowed the girl to find it. And then I don't know if she threw it away or whatever, the girl that he was involved with, whatever the case may be. And so, like I said, this was like you trying to set me up. And then the whole time he was sitting here talking about, we were sitting in his car. He kept rolling down the window. He asked me, your neighbors next door still not like you and this, that, and the third. And I didn't answer him right then and there because it was just creeping me out how you rolling down windows and stuff. Like, what are you doing? Don't roll my window down. I'll roll it down if I want. And so I didn't answer him, but I answered him the next day and I was like, yeah, I still don't like them. I don't care what you're talking about them not liking me. I really don't care. Like, they don't hold no weight when it comes to that. So, I was just giving him this insight and stuff on my life, and that was that because that's what I had always done with him. And I wanted to be transparent with him. I didn't have no secrets, this, that, and the third. My loyalty, I had loyalty, a sense of loyalty to him and stuff like that. And I was just, like I said, happy to be in his presence. Of course, he brought that to a halt when he did all that. He never brought my earring back. He showed back up over here in 2019. I'm about to definitely, yeah. I'm trying to get the. Anyway, he showed back up over here in 2019 or whatever, in September, and I was still asking for my earring. I don't know if by then I had went on and thrown it away, but I was still asking for it. So this was July, August, September. 3 months later, and he was like, something. You ain't got your earring. I don't know if he said threw it in the trash or something like that. I don't know. So I was like, well, damn. Um, He didn't come here. He came across the street, of course. And so, again, this was him like putting some kind of pressure and like positioning me. And to me, it was him definitely consulting works of darkness or going some type of other way to try to, I always say overthrow me. And I say that not in an arrogant way, but just in a confident way of like I was on top of my game or whatever. I was on top of whatever it was that I was on top of. I was definitely an overcomer. And he just didn't like it. And I just, when I think about that, if it's really like that, like I really be feeling like, so you don't want to see me as a female, furthermore supposed to be your counterpart, had your children, you don't want to see me prosper, you don't want to see me do well. You're a sick individual, because I'm really sitting here loving you and caring for you and stuff like that, and you don't want to see me prosper. And so anyway, he plotted and teamed up with somebody to do that or whatever, and that's why I did start to feel some strain and some pressure or whatever throughout that year to do certain stuff that I wouldn't usually do. But I ain't gonna sit here and say I was ever a stranger to thinking about it myself, but I just wouldn't do it. It was basically something more so that he would be prone to do. And then I later found out that his oof, Lord, I have a hard time calling her his mom or whatever, but because I like to say mammy. But his deceased mother, I can say that in a dignified way. His deceased mother would do, and so he like followed in the footsteps, and I didn't know. I didn't know, and that's why it is. It's best to get to know people, know their history, and this, that, and the third. If they don't want to open up, sometimes it's for good reason, but other times it's just for they trying to hide something or whatever. And so yeah, like I said, that's what opened up the door. Other than that, that's where I'm not gonna beat myself up, but I still feel a type of way like, damn, if I wouldn't have did this, then my daughter would definitely still be here, where I can keep an eye on her and safe and operating in the household. And but we was having little concerns, and I feel like they were minor. I feel like there wasn't nothing I couldn't handle, but it was trying to kind of rage out of control in a sense, to where I knew I needed help or whatever. So that's why I be saying like this is the good part about it, but for her so-called dad to sit there and not have her interacting, and I guess he think I'm gonna ask him. I told her, I said, honey, you think I'm finna go through your dad to see a child that I carried, that I know I gave back to God, I submitted you to God. Of course I was there when you got saved and baptized. He wasn't. He chose not to be. That's on him. Just like he chose not to be at Lamaze classes. He chose, for whatever reason, he chose the streets or whatever for him to be locked up for when she was born. He missed her first birthday.